게임에 대해서는 아무것도 모른다. 도시의 운명은 여러분에게 달렸습니다.
Hey, you're alive. When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, a phone, maybe. I hope you don't mind. But all I found was some loose change. So, wanna tell me who you are?
뭐야 이게? 아, 이렇게 해서 고르는 거야? 잘 모르겠는데. 진짜 킹.
Well, it's nice to meet you. And I'm sorry to pry, but any idea why you were floating down the river? What's the last thing you remember?
나 오. 이게 왠지 멋있어 보이는데?
Really? You're a soldier? But why are you out of uniform? Oh,
눈이
was it a black op? Are you a soldier of fortune? You know what? Don't answer that. I don't think I want to know. But this should be a piece of cake for someone like you. There are some ruins just behind you. Roman, I think. I need you to go in there and see if you can find a guy named Al for me. He went in there a few hours ago, and he hasn't come out.
왜?
I've been freaking out, wondering if he's trapped or injured, or worse. I would have gone in after him, but he made me promise to stay here, no matter what. There's no way I'm leaving without him, so I'm just kind of stuck here, waiting. What I mean is, I was hoping you wouldn't mind going in there to find him? If you can do that, I can get both of you back to civilization in my boat. Please? Oh, of course. Sorry, I don't mean to be pushy. I just... What do you want to know? Oh, there's not much to tell. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Know what I mean? Oh, I'd rather not say if it's all the same to you.
이름을 안 알려줄 거라고?
All right, fine. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen. Look, if you really want to know all the tragic details, perhaps I can fill you in after you find out.
카렌이 왜
Oh,
그러지?
there's not much to tell. Oh. All right, fine. Yeah. He's the guy who washed up on the riverbank not long before you did. I
뭐야?
thought maybe you
한
two knew
명이
each other.
더
I
떼내려왔다고?
guess not. But maybe the two of you can piece together what you're doing here. In any case, you'll like him, I'm sure. Once you find him, that is. You really don't remember? We're in
이탈리아
This river is the Tiber.
타이베르.
Not much, really. But imagine what you might find in there. Priceless ancient artifacts. Al. What am I, an idiot? You could hike a long, long way in any direction and never find another soul. Trust me.
그래,
Great.
가자.
So you're my hero.
If you're reading this, it means I've discovered the entrance to an ancient Roman city hidden deep underground. Its existence is long forgotten, all knowledge of it lost, except in the Latin inscription here. It reads, "You who wish to enter the city, step forth and be judged. The virtuous shall be rewarded with eternal life in paradise. The wicked shall find themselves showered in gold, but in vain, for this shall be their final resting place." Could an underground city have remained a secret for all this time? Could people have survived down there, against the odds? It seems there's only one way to find out. If I'm not back in an hour, I'm somewhere on the other side. Consider this an invitation. Or a warning. Al Worth.
떨어져 죽는 거 아니야? 아니, 탈출은 어떻게 하려고? 오, 바이오 하자드 하다가 이거 하니까 하나도 안 무섭네. 이건 공포 게임이 아니잖아. 뭐야? 움직인 것 같은데? 착각이겠지? 자꾸 칼 가는 소리가 들리냐? 스르릉 스르릉. 옛날 게임 엔진이라 그런지 플스5인데도 끊김이 있네. 야, 이 도시가 완전히 멸망해버린 거건가? 대체 무슨 일이 일어났던 거야? 뭘 보고 이렇게 놀랐을까? 이렇게 부딪혀서 넘어뜨리는 것도 가능하다. 아니, 이 와중에 누가 죽었네.
Whoever reads this, I'm sorry you had to find me like this. And worse, you'll suffer the same fate I did. spent a lifetime in this place, going around and around in circles,
뭐야
searching
이거?
for a way out. The inscription was right. There is no way back. And here there are only two options: death, or that godforsaken doorway into the past. I made the mistake of stepping through it. I wanted to set things right. And I tried. I really tried. Whatever I did took me right back to the beginning.
목소리 연기가 좋네.
Better to end it all now. And find out what awaits you beyond that portal.
포탈? 대체 무슨 일이 일어난 거야? 그래픽이 좋지는 않지만 그래도 이제 디테일 같은 거에는 신경을 썼네. 뭐라고 자꾸 막 이탈리아가 아니겠지? 고대 이게 이탈리아어인가? 와우, 이게 뭐야? 이야, 씨. 환상특급. 과거로 돌아왔다.
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina?
저는 춘자킹입니다. 방금 미래에서 왔어요.
What? I'm speaking Latin. You are too, although your accent's a little strange.
영어로
Oh,
들리는데.
I see what you did there. Changing the subject like that. Nice try. But I'll ask again. Who are you, and what were you doing in the shrine?
포르세피나? 프로세피나?
Yeah, you know, agricultural goddess of springtime? You're not from around here, are you? And you've just done it again. You're a sly one, aren't you? One more time. Who are you, and what were you doing in that shrine? No idea what you're talking about. Oh, wait. Are you a bit, not right in the head? That's all right, friend. Everyone's welcome here. We sort of lose track of the date down here, but it feels like the beginning of spring to me, so I'd say early March? It's 817 AUC. Sorry, you look confused. 817 years since the founding of Rome. Which part of the empire are you from, exactly? Hey, not so loud. Just saying that name could land you in trouble here. If you haven't heard, his cultists burned down half of Rome last year. Horrible business. I heard Nero executed some of them, but a lot of people are still angry with them. Even down here. So, if you're one of them, keep it to yourself. But listen, most folks seem a bit confused when they get here, but you seem very lost, and in more
한
ways than one.
대략 한 2000년도
So,
정도
let me make
전이네.
this nice and simple for you. Live by our law here, and we'll all get along just fine. Not laws, law. There's just one, the golden rule. And the punishment for breaking it's kind of horrific. But our magistrate insists we take all newcomers to see him, so I guess I'll let him fill you in. So then, you coming?
같이 가? 따라가?
Follow me. When I first arrived, I couldn't believe there were people living down here. But, as you can see, we've got a nice little community now.
X를 누르고 있으면
Only
따라가.
23 of us at the
편하네 이거.
moment, if you count the 3 who are missing. No idea how, since nobody knows a way out. But it's just big and dark enough to get lost in, if you're not careful.
Aren't you going to introduce me to your handsome new friend, Galerius?
Keep it in your loincloth, Aurelia. I'm taking him to see the magistrate.
That pompous old bore won't be magistrate for much longer. Anyone who helps vote him out today drinks at my bar for free tonight.
Politics. I'd stay clear of it and her, if I were you. She's... it's not my place to say. Down on your right is our farm, where I grow all the food you'll ever want. As long as all you want is meat, cabbage, and wheat. Ah, that one usually gets a chuckle.
The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone.
Ah, don't mind Livia. She means well. She's just been in a bad place since... Well, you know, I don't know what happened to her. Up here on your right is the chasm. If you've got a weapon, it belongs way down at the bottom. Up on your left is the forum, where you can visit the market or get yourself patched up in Lucretia's clinic in the Shrine of Apollo. Most of us have almost nothing, just what we had on us when we arrived, and what we've been able to make and scrounge up since. And this central plateau is where the magistrate and the other patricians live, so don't expect a warm welcome.
Galerius, you're meant to be working the farm, not trudging dirt into the village.
Take it easy, Horatius. I was just taking our new friend here to see the magistrate.
Well, he's asked me to escort the newcomer personally. The farm. Go. Now.
You'd better go with him. But just remember, they're not like you and me. Don't let them use you.
What was that? What did you just say?
고맙다 갈레리우스.
It'll take some getting used to.
Yeah, I'm watching you, farm boy.
건방지니.
Greetings, citizen. My name's Horatius. Magistrate Sentius asked me to escort you to him personally. Follow me, please. I expect the magistrate wants to brief you about the Golden Rule. It shouldn't take too long. He's busy preparing for the election later today. Follow me. The only thing you really need to understand right now is the Golden Rule. Let me see if I can explain it this way. When I was serving in the Legion, if there was a mutiny brewing in one cohort, the legate in charge wouldn't waste time finding the bad apples among hundreds. They just divided us into groups of 10, made us draw straws, and whoever drew the short straw had to be executed by the other 9. Didn't matter whether he'd done anything wrong. One of us in 10
뭔
would
이런
die
미친
for crimes of the collective.
미친
We call it decimation. If that seems like rough justice to you, you're in for a rude shock. Because the Golden Rule is exactly 10 times worse. The magistrate can explain the rest.
아니
He's
10배면 10명 중에 10명이 죽는 거야? 아유 이 계단 사이즈 다른 거 봐라. 아유. 너냐?
We're finally alone.
머리가
I assume
멋있네.
you already know who I am. May I know your name?
시안 판사 센티우스
A
춘자킹입니다.
curious name. To match a curious accent. But I digress. I see you have the posture of a military man, though your garments are most peculiar. I pray to Mars your skill set won't be necessary here, but time will tell. Now, you're probably wondering why I summoned you, and I'll get to that. But first, take a look at this wondrous place, would you? A secret city built deep in the mountains, maybe hundreds of years ago. In good time. More importantly, consider the miraculous community we've built here over the last 7 months. 22 complete strangers brought together by the fates, living and working together in our own little paradise. And in all that time, not a single sin has been committed. No fights, no theft, nothing. Have you ever witnessed something so extraordinary as a city without sin?
우리 남양주시
Nor could I until I came here. But the reason for this miracle is as simple as it is terrifying. If even one person commits a sin here, every last
뭐야?
one of us
죄를
will
지으면
die.
모두가 죽는다고?
You see, the builders of this place, whoever they were, left inscriptions warning, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." From what we can gather, breaking the law here will anger the gods and provoke a terrible punishment. Like the curses of Medusa and Midas combined, turning us all to gold. We've come to call it the Golden Rule. It's extraordinary that we've survived as long as we have, and each day I grow more and more afraid that our time in the sun is almost up. And now it seems that day is finally here. All that matters is that somebody in this city is about to break the Golden Rule. Why else would Proserpina send you now? Unless you and I can stop them, our doom is assured. I know that's a lot to take in, and you look like you have questions. Please, ask away. An intelligent question. There was a good deal of debate about that in our first weeks here. Does it refer to crimes or to some other ill-defined wrong? Of course, everyone agrees on the basics. No theft, no assault, and certainly no murder. But beyond that, it was more difficult to reach a consensus. What about lying, insulting someone, blasphemy, trespass, trying to escape, bribery, infidelity, suicide? As magistrate, I had to exercise leadership, and so I made a decision. We must uphold the laws of the Empire to a standard never before seen. And we must honor the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. It is only by offering the gods the proper respect that we may prosper, as Rome has for centuries. Barbaric? Barbaric? What are you talking about? The Empire is the most civilizing force in the known world. Rome is a beacon of light in the darkness. For 800 years she has borne great statesmen, philosophers, poets, artists, and engineers. We have comprehensive laws protecting the rights of our citizens, which have unified countless warring tribes all across the Mediterranean and beyond, from Gallia to Judea. All our citizens are treated the same, regardless of the color of their skin or their sexual preference. Can you say the same? When our people are starving, they are given food rations, and when they are wronged, they have the right to bring the guilty party before the magistrate. Our laws forbid treason, murder, assault, and rape, as well as theft and arson, and so on. No other civilization in the world is so advanced, and you have the hubris to call us barbaric? Of course, what else would we do with those prisoners of war who would otherwise have been executed? Besides, there are laws for their protection as well. On occasion, but our gladiators are almost all volunteers seeking glory, or condemned prisoners who would have been executed anyway. I do not see the harm. Of course, but with fewer rights come fewer responsibilities, and the right to be protected by their fathers and husbands. You mean the blasphemous cult responsible for burning down half of Rome last year? It's hard to blame the people for being angry about that. Are you talking about our practice of decimation? Of course. We could hardly unite all these warring tribes without a disciplined, formidable legion. Well, right now, you're a long, long way from home. I have made my pronouncement on the subject. Unfortunately, there are still those here who resist, whispering blasphemous and treasonous lies in the shadows. I would be keeping a close eye on them if I were you. You see, in my search for a way to save my people, I learned of an ancient ritual to It's said to open a doorway in time, so that... And when I saw you arrive in a flash of light from the goddess... 2,000 years? That is unfathomable. Please, tell me, in your time, what did you see? What had become of us? Of this city? I have imagined it, our downfall, 1,000 times. But it's still... All I can tell you is that it's a ritual. I have to recite a prayer, and of course, as with all rituals, in this case, I don't suppose you saw... I assume that was me. If I'm forced to perform the ritual, it's going to cost me... Well, I believe you're in the best position to go around asking people questions. You're new. As for me, well, it pains me to say my attempts to impose order have not earned me many friends. The people here would only treat my curiosity with suspicion. Do you ever stare at a problem for so long that what's needed here is a fresh pair of eyes? Me? Why would you suspect me? I've just told you. What reason could you... I'm glad you think so. Well, all right. Frankly, their selfishness and recklessness risk... You mean you couldn't speak Latin? But the gods are active here. Perhaps when Proserpina brought you here... An unbeliever, then? If I understand Proserpina's ritual correctly, that problem should take care of... If you manage to prevent the sin that breaks the golden rule, I won't... Thus, you have created a paradox. If this occurs... Ah, good. So, are you with me? Wonderful. Now, I need you. I authorize you to enter private homes and inspect possession. Figure out who the culprit is, and as soon as you have it... Oh, and one last thing. If I were you, I'd start my investigation by visiting Lucretia at the Shrine of Apollo. I heard wailing from the...
뭔가 이 나쁜 짓을 저지르려는 놈을 미리 방지를 해서 막는다. 그게 게임의 목적이겠구만.
I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here. What do you want? I'm Sentia, eldest daughter of the magistrate.
센티아.
You know that if you'd been invited in here and introduced properly.
건방지네.
Really? I'd never have noticed, what with your flawless accent appropriate... Now, remind me. Ugh, what is it with you people? Well, that's just a stupid rumor. We have... You know, some people say it's the creation of an all... But what kind of an awful...
Did you hear that? Curse you, you coward! Where is my... What do you have to... No response. I'm telling you, either that, or like people are... I trust you.
건방지네. 광장이 어디야?
Ave.
Keep an eye out for Santilla, would you? Well now, I'm a legionary of the 1st Italica, but there's not a lot of fighting down here. I act as the magistrate's right-hand man, keeping an eye on his door. I also keep a I'm from Liguria, up north originally. Not anymore. My commander sent me to deliver a message to Rome. While I was there, that's when the crowd started flooding through. Then some Genetricum fugitive tried to take advantage of the chaos and pinch my pendant. I remember chasing him through the crowds, down towards the river. And then blacked out and woke up near here. No. Ah, don't be. As Seneca the Younger said, difficulty strengthen the mind, as labour does. That said, Santilla is one of the better commanders I've ever had, that's for sure. Good stoic. Treat your inferior, but can't ask for much more than... I went around asking the same questions when I first arrived. Never did find a way out. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. That's from... I don't see why not. Of course. Well, as I always say, by threatening to execute 1 in 10 men, the idea is to... If you knew you could be executed because your brother-in-arms is planning a mutiny, well, it look because your only chance of saving yourself. It's brutal, of course, but effective. The Legion won't... War crime. Isn't that a contradiction in terms? As Cicero said, in times of... Seems that way. What's done is done. I was forced to execute my brothers in arms, and as with the Golden Rule, I don't have any control. But to rest, sat. If you like. Not that it's any of your business. Unfortunately, see, Domitius has been going around town, shoring up the man's a savage. But he's a gladiator, so people fear and respect him more than they should. Sentius knows about it, of course, but he doesn't have this. This place will be different with that sleaze of the helm. Hey, if you think you can do better, in any case, if you're interested in the all right?
안 표시되는데? 아, 이렇게. 감사합니다. 저장. 이쯤 해볼까? 여기까지.